All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling one of the biggest questions of our time. Really, how in the world do we control artificial intelligence? We're about to peek inside the world's very first global rulebook designed to do just that. It's a new standard called ISO/IEC 42001.
I mean, let's be real. AI is transforming just about everything, from our companies to our societies. But with all this incredible power, there's this nagging question, right? Who's actually in charge here? Who's making sure this tech is being built and used responsibly?
And that question, well, it gets right to the heart of a massive challenge. As organizations are rushing to weave AI into everything they do, there's this growing feeling that we're building something amazing, sure, but maybe without a proper blueprint for safety or, ethics.
And we're not talking about some far-off sci-fi future here. These are very real concerns happening right now. Things like major privacy violations, algorithms that are biased, growing social divides, and even some pretty fundamental threats to our safety and security. This is exactly why we've needed some kind of guiding framework. And in response to that very real need, the international community has actually delivered a solution. A global standard has finally arrived to give us that guidance we've been looking for, and this is it. ISO IEC 42001. It is the first international standard made specifically for artificial intelligence management systems. You can kind of think of it as the world's first official instruction manual for how to build and manage AI the right way.
So you're hearing this term AI Management System, or AIMS. What does that actually mean? Well, at its core, it's a formal, structured framework. This isn't just a list of good ideas. It's a whole system an organization puts in place to manage everything about its AI, from its goals and risks to ethics and legal stuff.
So, what's actually inside this new rulebook? Come on, let's pop the hood and break down the key parts that make it all work.
So you can think of the standard as being built on four main pillars. First is integration, making sure AI governance is baked into the company's DNA, not just stuck in some side department. The next two are all about looking ahead, systematically checking for technical risks, and, just as important, looking at the impact on real people and society. And finally, it wires data protection and security into the system from the get-go. Now, one of the smartest things about this standard is that it doesn't exist in a vacuum. Not at all. It acts as this central hub that connects to other well-known rules for things like info security and data quality. This creates a way more complete and powerful ecosystem for governing AI.
Now, it's really useful to see where this ISO standard fits into the bigger picture, because it's not the only framework out there. For instance, the OECD has a framework that's more about the high-level societal and ethical stuff. Meanwhile, the US NIST framework is a super practical technical guide for actually building trustworthy systems. You can think of them as all working together, all pushing for the same goal, responsible AI.
Okay, so we know what it is, but why does this really matter? What are the actual benefits for a company that does this and, frankly, for the rest of us?
For the organizations themselves, the advantages are pretty clear. Adopting this standard just leads to better, more reliable AI products. It makes things more efficient and can even cut costs by making compliance easier. But maybe most importantly, it strengthens ethical oversight and builds that thing that's so crucial today, trust with customers and partners. And really, when you boil it all down, this isn't about just ticking boxes on a checklist. The whole mission is to make it possible to build transparent, trustworthy, and ethical AI systems. That's the end game.
Okay, so what about all of us who aren't building AI systems? What does this mean for us? Well, it means the AI that's shaping our world can become safer and more reliable. It's a way to make sure these powerful tools are working for us, not against us, and that there's a real, transparent process behind them.
Right, so it's one thing to say you're following the rules, but how does a company actually prove it? Well, that's where certification comes in. It's a tough process to earn that official seal of approval for responsible AI. And getting certified is a really serious deal. The whole thing kicks off with defining what's covered and assessing all the risks. Then, you get to this crucial two-part audit. First, auditors go through all the paperwork to see if the policies are solid. Then, they do a hands-on audit to make sure the system actually works in the real world,
not just on paper. Only after any problems are fixed can they actually issue that certificate.
And it doesn't just stop there. A certification is good for 3 years, but it requires yearly checkup audits to make sure the company is staying on track. This makes it super clear that responsible AI isn't a one-time project. It is an ongoing commitment.
You know, this standard is a monumental first step. It truly is. But it leaves us with a pretty critical question for the future. As AI technology just keeps accelerating, will a single global standard be enough to handle everything that's coming and to truly make sure this powerful force stays on humanity's side? That's something we'll all be watching. Thanks for joining The Explainer.